Hello Internet, welcome back to more of our Apartment Rat series. We're coming back after about a week off, and we just did the multi-episode episode. You'll see in my messages here, I did change the color. I was only there briefly. I changed the color of the dark blue text because it's so difficult to read. So if we were to start a fire here, why don't we do this just for examples, because who cares? Man, I thought I picked up a lot more wood than that. Start a fire. Oh no. Uh-oh. No. Let's put out this fire. Okay. So, okay. Well, that was quite a thing. I hit the I hit the lighter button on the wrong tile and it spooked me pretty good. Okay, so let's read this antique adornments and you'll see, okay, I don't know why it's in that color. It wasn't like that before. And you'll see it's teal. I don't know why it changed the background color. I asked it to change the main color. Oh, I see, because I see. Edit, custom normal color. Yep, I went with blue text on a black background, and I should have looked for this particular tile, this particular color, and now if we save, when we load the game again, it will no longer be dark blue on a teal background. It should be teal on a black background. Whatever, really not relevant. We were just full and hydrated, but now we are peckish. We're not going to eat. I believe we ate just prior to closing down the episode. We do have these 2 pelmeni, which we made in the in-between. Now, the main thing that we did in the previous episodes was that we started getting this vehicle put together so that we could work on it. We're going to search for the mechanical pump. Uh-oh. Now, I know I picked up a mechanical pump at the... I know I picked up a mechanical pump. Please tell me I picked up a mechanical pump. Really don't want to have to walk back. No, we picked up a high-pressure pump. Oh, man. Okay, so we don't have the materials required to fix that vehicle. Mechanical pump. Okay, thank God, we can make one. Man, sorry about this. The episode is not starting off the way I had expected it to. I think we want to use the soldering iron because it uses a battery that we have plenty of versus the welding tanks, which use our more valuable batteries. Insufficient charges. Okay. Unload the... Oh, did we not pick it up? I guess we didn't pick it up. We will pick up the soldering iron. Okay, we will reload the soldering iron. No, please. Why is it not prompting me on what else I can reload? Activate. Unload. Okay, so we have a lot of batteries. Let's pick up the light battery. Let's reload. Stop it. Why is it trying to swap my magazine? I don't want... Drop the gun. Reload the soldering iron. I don't understand why it wouldn't let me do that while I was holding a gun. Okay, what are we wielding? We're wielding the mechanical pump, so there's no reason it should have defaulted to the gun like that. Anyway, we have a recharged soldering iron, so we will continue. And we will... Why won't it let me use the soldering iron? 93%. Soldering iron. Why is it prompting me... Drop the pump. Okay, work on craft. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna use the welder. Literally prompting me every turn, huh? And it's not advancing the progress. Let's drop some of the stuff out of our inventory. Drop the books and the empty water bottle. We don't need the lockpicks anymore. We'll sort everything out. Really confused by what is happening here. You start working on the in-progress mechanical pump. 51%. Okay, well, they broke crafting. So what I'm going to do... Are you serious? I can't even disassemble it. Okay, can't disassemble it. Pretty furious about this, actually. Great, now we don't have the raw materials. We will butcher these pipe rifles for some pipes. This is a terrible, terrible way to start this episode. I'm very upset that they broke crafting. I just wanted to come in here and knock this out really quick. And it's really just sticking it to me now. So we're going to go with the welders because the welders will have enough charge to complete this craft in one effort rather than over time and have to reload the battery like we did with the soldering iron. Pretty upset about how that went. On the plus side, this has raised our fab to level 7, which is what we had needed to make the pickaxe, although we've already found an electric jackhammer. So that took about 3.5 hours. Now that we have the mechanical pump, we can fully repair our vehicle and we can start on vehicle construction proper. We are going to wield the quarterstaff, and I think we're going to drop the extra clip for the time being. I will leave it on the ammunition pile so that we know right where it is. We also do not need these flashlights. We also don't need the sewing kit, the soldering iron. We'll take the pelmeni with us in case we want to eat while we're out there. So we'll drop all of that and we will pick up the welder and some of the batteries so that we can begin work on our vehicle once we've... You know what? We're going to bring it back to base anyway. So why don't we search for welder? We really don't need to carry this stuff with us. We will take the PBA mask because of its glare protection. And that'll do for now. We can always come inside if we need to pick up additional batteries. So we're going to head out to the vehicle. We're going to use the new auto move function. Yes. And here we've arrived at our vehicle. We're also going to remove these notes that we marked because we've already collected these casings. Yes. And we will delete the valuable vehicle note as well because we're obviously aware that this is here. Okay, so let's put... Oh, we can't because it's dark outside. Awesome. Can you mend an engine in the dark? Of course not. And like I said, these masks don't actually work. The goggles don't actually work for... I did not mean to wield them. Does not count for light for whatever reason. Does not count as a light source. So I don't know what to do here. It's very dark, so they must have fixed the lighting issues we were experiencing in previous episodes. There's really nothing nearby that's super easy to loot. I think we've mostly looted the area already. I think we've been here previously, but we will check. And we'll go on a little loot run until the sun starts. You know what? This is actually pretty dangerous because if the sun comes up while we're out here, we could be exposed to quite a few enemies. What is to the south of us? We've already searched all those houses. Okay, so we'll just head inside and we'll chill out until the sun comes up. Then we will go and we will work on our vehicle. In fact, we will take these off while we're at it. Head back upstairs. I guess we'll read since we're not hungry or anything. We don't need to cook food and set ourselves up with food. Let's look at our skills. It's been a while since I played. Still want to raise that electronic skill to 7 for the vehicle welder, which I believe requires a electronics of 7 weld. Yeah, we don't have the current ability to make it, although we do have the recipe for it. First aid could go up a little bit. Pretty much any of the firearm skills could go up if we had the books. Why don't we focus in... Do we have anything for electronics? I don't think we do, because that was the issue before. We have a handgun book, submachine gun book, knife book. I mean, I guess we could read computer books, so we have a little bit of a computer skill for when we do get around to searching the labs. It won't do us very much good at low levels, but it is something. I can't see if the sun has come up. Why don't we stop and we'll head up here. So the sun is up. We're going to go work on our vehicle. So far, not so great. So not loving this so far. We're going to head out. We're going to work on our vehicle. In fact, you know what? We're going to pull up our old friend, the Questionator. For those that are not familiar, I put together a very basic program that asks me questions. So when there's a lull in conversation or when I get frustrated, I can still direct my thoughts. Also, the apostrophes are broken and it outputs garbage. So I don't know why that happens. What's the best/worst practical joke that you've played on someone or that was played on you? Yeah, I hate practical jokes. I think that they're something that people do to be cruel to each other. These are the fried brains that we were furious over. I think practical jokes are kind of cruel, so I really don't support them. I do remember that when I was a kid, I saw on Cartoon Network, I was probably 11 or 12, they had these jokes where they said, oh, play practical jokes, here's some practical jokes. And they were all terrible. They were like, put saran wrap over the toilet seat so people don't know that they're, whatever. And one of them was to take an Oreo and scrape out the filling and put in toothpaste and then give it to your friend. So I did. I did that to my brother and he ate it and was horrified. And yeah, that happened. So I guess that's a practical joke. Engine starts up. In fact, why don't we stop this vehicle so we can get a look at our hard work? How do we check the engine? No faulty parts. Okay. So we have 2 tanks with about 5 liters of gas. That's actually quite a lot. Car battery is at 7%. The reason I wanted this engine is because I thought it was really big and would be ideal for the truck. Now that I'm looking at it, it's only a 2.8 liter and it's only a V6. So there are definitely much more powerful engines out there that, we maybe could have found one instead of trying to piece together this hunk of junk. In fact, you'll see that the top speed is 108 miles an hour, which I guess is pretty reasonable given its size, but it has a cargo volume of 5,300 liters. Yeah, about that. I don't think we're going to leave the vehicle this length. I think that this is entirely too long for us to easily navigate through tricky spots. Like, when there are vehicles on the street and we're coming in and we want to turn to avoid a vehicle, it could potentially jut our rear end into line with the houses, which would be very dangerous. So I think what we're going to do, so this is an open window. We'll block this off. Then I think we'll just have like 4. I think we'll cut these 3 off, these 3 back ends. And then, we'll cut 2 of them off and we'll make this the end. That way we can put an aisle in here. We can put the vehicle welder, a bed in here, maybe like a cooking station or a forge or whatever. And then we would have these remainder just as cargo spaces. In fact, we might not put an aisle in it at all, because the only reason to put an aisle in is if you don't want to be slowed down while moving through these tiles. There's really no benefit to an aisle. It's just a vacant space. So I think we might actually just leave it full of cargo spaces and then we'll block it off. And this will shorten our vehicle pretty noticeably. Obviously still a very large vehicle, but pretty ideal. We may also move the engine and all the key components out of this front tile and put it in the rear somewhere. So that when we plow into zombies and things, we're not going to be losing our engine. Because God knows I've done that more than a couple times. So, let's close the doors. Nice and safe. Do we have a seat belt? We do have a seat belt. It's in pretty disrepair, but that's okay. Start this bad boy up. We're going to drive it down to the base. You hear beep beep. Why do I hear beep beep? How do I look at the vehicle? How do I look at the vehicle while driving? Examine vehicle. Security system is busted. Why is there beeping? I am not pressing... I'm not pressing the horn. Why am I beeping? You hear vroom. Okay, well, that's more acceptable, I guess. It's interesting that it's putting them all in teal, but okay. So we're going to drive down. We're going to move it closer to base just for the ease of access. We're going to have to make some pretty wide turns in this thing. It's obviously not ideal for navigating the knocked over, the pillaged streets that are in disrepair and blocked with damaged vehicles. Obviously not meant for maneuverability. This seems fine. We turn off the engine. I think we just start hacking pieces off of it, if I'm being honest. What do we need to install a board? We won't know until we take some stuff off. And of course, we will replace some damaged frames with better frames if we find them. So let's say we wanted to install the board. This requires sheet metal, which is what we get from the quarter panels. So we should have plenty of materials for... No, do not install the board. Let's take all of this off. Yeah, I don't like practical jokes. Tool with lifting 1. Why can't I take this off? It said something and I didn't read it. Oh. Your morale is too low to construct. Really though? Because it's 66. Oh, my morale is negative 52. We are wet and it is snowing. Oh, God. Okay. We'll head upstairs. We will... God, so dumb. Okay, well, we're too cold and wet to craft. We are actually extremely cold. Why are we not warmer than this? Because we're wearing those gloves that are not very good. I'm not really sure why our arms and legs are so cold. It was not this cold previously. Yeah, we're wearing the armored leather jacket. Our legs are also cold and we're wearing the turnout trousers. And I don't mean a little cold. I mean, we are extremely cold. We are sad. You are not content with your life. Oh, tell me about it, brother. Why don't we... Well, first of all, let's eat some multivitamins because we had some health issues before. Let's... And we'll take a calcium tablet. Why not? We're sad and we're wet. We probably never picked up an umbrella because I usually don't. Can make a raincoat. It would cost me some duct tape. I'm not happy about that. Can't see to craft. Okay. And we're basically out of wood at this point. Okay. So this episode is actually going extremely poorly. I'm very unhappy with the way this is going. Really, it's very early in the morning. I thought I would come home from work and pop on here and do one quick episode, polish off that vehicle, and this is not, it's not going great. I'm not happy about it. So that should take care of our issues with the rain. We might actually need the rain hood as well. I don't know. Make a rain hood. We're not going to be able to wear that with the helmet, so we'll take off the helmet. Look at our morale. My morale is low in real life now. Let's get another question. I'm disappointed in the way things are going. You're in the circus. Would you rather be the person with their head inside the lion's mouth or get shot out of the cannon? What a stupid question. I pulled all these questions from these random online survey types websites, and there's a bunch of would you rathers and that kind of crap. I don't care about most of that stuff. Most of them are very dumb questions. I guess it would be the cannon guy. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, I have a fear of heights, but I also have a fear of having my head chewed open. So, yeah, didn't actually raise our morale. Should have eaten something or taken some drugs or something, because I just don't really understand why I'm being wet is such a big deal. But I guess it is. Let's drink some booze. What are we looking for? We got a plus 28 on the pale ale, plus 30 on the rum. I don't care for rum, but we'll drink a little rum. And then we will also take Let's smoke a cigarette. Sure, smoke a cigarette. Actually, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, somebody did say that smoking cigarettes can kill you in the game now, because like the instant you smoke them, it's too much and you start throwing, yep, you throw up. How do we stop smoking? Extinguish. So maybe we can avoid vomiting again. I didn't think about it until I started doing it. Okay, let's see if we can work despite the rain. Shouldn't have done that. This is not a good episode. Not a good episode. And then I get in my head about it, and it gets worse and worse as I start to complain. So yeah, not a fan. Oh, that's why it was beeping. It's because we have a backup beeper installed. I don't know. It'd be cool to work with a lion, but also I do not trust lions. I mean, the whole Siegfried and Roy thing is a pretty bad spot on giant cats, in my opinion. Oh, we can't just lop off the back end because there are wheels back there. We'd have to move the wheels up. Why are there... Okay. We wouldn't want them in the very last tile anyway. We would take off the wheels and we would move them up here. Let's look at this thing. So we wanted this one to be the blocking area. So we're going to lop off everything to here. Then we would want the tires to be like up one tile, I guess. We're going to need a jack regardless, so we'll go get a jack. Would you rather forget who you are or not know who everyone else is? I would rather forget who I am. I've lived through too much, you know. I'd rather... You know, in movies, when I was a kid and I would watch movies where people get amnesia, I would always think, like, man, that sounds pretty sweet, like, to just be able to forget all the horrible, horrible stuff. We need a jack, makeshift jack. Yeah, just seems like that'd be great, just to forget. Even if other people hated me, I mean, what do I care? I've already forgotten who I was, so they can piss right off, you know. What difference does that make? Let's take this stuff off. Yeah, I wouldn't want to forget everyone else, I don't think. Tool with jacking of 7. Why does nothing ever work? Have you noticed this? Why does nothing ever work? So I think that jacking is based on... Let's look at the tire. Off. I think that jacking is based on the weight of the vehicle. So I think we could bring this down if we continued taking pieces off of it. But it's probably smarter just to make the better jack, I think. So a little disappointing because nothing ever goes the way you expect it to, but whatever. Let's waste some more firewood. Okay, splintered wood. Lighter, start a fire. How's our mood? Nothing. Really? You're over the cigarette and everything already? Jack. Oh, we did work on a vehicle for a long time. So it's jacking 7, jacking 16. Okay, so we need a bottle jack. Is the only one that would work. Which requires the forge and a swage and die set, which we do not have. Okay, scrap metal. God, this freaking episode is just killing me. It is figuratively killing me, internet. I just need scrap metal, man. Help me out. Okay. I don't know how much we can carry. We just take a bunch of it, head downstairs. We will try to throw together a swage and die set. It's always something. It's always something. It can never just be what you already have. It always has to be just a little bit more. Let's check first to make sure we didn't make one. Of course we didn't. So we will look for swage. We will make a swage and die set. We will use the scrap metal on our person. Yeah, I mean, oh God, I don't know. You know, I was at work today. We're winding down on the end of the episode, so I don't want to get into something, but I went to work today, and there's this dude hitchhiking, and he ran out in front of my car and was waving me down, and I thought, oh my God, he's been in an accident. Because, you know, it doesn't matter, it's the 4th of July, people were drunk, you know. So I slam on my brakes, and he's got his thumb hooked out. I'm like, oh, okay, he's just a hitchhiker. And he was like, hey man, you know, can you give me a ride? And I was like, no. Like, I said, like, he had already stopped me, right? He ran out in front like a freaking idiot. We need the bottle jack. Oh, we don't have the recipe anymore because it's in one of the books. It's like, he ran in front of me, and he's like, yo, can you give me a ride? I'm going that way. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm legally obligated to not give hitchhikers a ride. And he's like, what? Like, what? And I said, like, yeah, man, you know, ever since I murdered and ate all of those hitchhikers, and then I drove away. Like, I didn't even give him a chance to respond at all. I just drove away because screw that guy. He shouldn't have ran out in front of my car. But then as I was driving, this is not a story for now, but it, you know, I got a little in a darker place a little bit and was thinking about death, and because I made a joke about it, and that's a pretty heavy topic for another time, I think. Is this even the book? How do I know which recipes are in a book? Literally does not appear to contain any recipes at all. I meant to pick up Under the Hood. These are in alphabetical order. Under the Hood. Makeshift jack, scissor jack, bottle jack. Okay. We're way over time. God, this whole super disappointing. You know, I thought I'd record one episode before I went to bed, and it turns out to be garbage. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Sorry it wasn't better. I say the same things in every episode. I always complain about it. I'm getting in my head right now. Moving on. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll be back with more Cataclysm in the near future. Keep your eye on the channel.